when everybody does their presentation, like my favorite thing by far is like all their like personal slides with all their kids and all that, and I don't have any, so I feel really bad. Now I have a wonderful family that I will tell you about, but anyway, my time constraints do not allow for that. So just a little bit about me. So I grew up in Abilene, Texas. I grew up playing tennis. I'm an only child. My parents moved to Fort Worth when I was right before my senior year in high school. So I graduated from Arlington Heights High School. And then I got, yeah, I know. And then I got a full tennis scholarship to TCU. I played tennis at TCU for a year and a half. I transferred to SMU. I played tennis there. I played professional tennis for 3 years after I graduated from SMU. And then my dad told me to get a real job. So I went to law school. And then I graduated from Texas A&M Law School, and then my first job, I clerked for a judge, and then I was at the district attorney's office. I was a prosecutor. And then I went to a law firm in downtown Fort Worth thinking I wanted to do sports and entertainment, and then found out that wasn't as much fun as I thought it was going to be. But it was a really good experience because I got exposed to a lot of different areas, and I found that I really like to do probate and estate planning. And so then I started my own firm, and my main name was Herring, so that's why it's Herring Law Firm. I kept that name. I started my own firm 17 years ago this month. And then I met my husband, and we got married, and I have a little boy who's 6. So no cute pictures. I wish I had cute pictures, sorry. But anyway, estate planning. So I do estate planning and probate work, and a lot of people don't know what that is, and sometimes it's hard for me to tell y'all in the brief time when we go around and do our asks. But estate planning is like planning for what's going to happen if you get sick or you pass away. And it sounds kind of morbid, but it's really important. And then the probate side is like more when after we help people after somebody passes away to transfer property and do that kind of stuff. I really kind of have a passion for estate planning though, because we do probate work, and all of the problems that we see are 100% preventable with proper planning. So it's just, taking that time to plan. And a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people don't do it because they don't want to do it or anything like that. I think they just don't know what to do. So these are typical documents that have, legal disclaimer. None of this is legal advice. If you want to have a one-on-one or something, I would love to do that. This is just kind of very general. I could go into super in-depth about each one of these things. So I'm just generalizing it so you'll have an idea of what I do. But we do wills, which powers of attorney, medical powers of attorney, trust, health directives, guardianship directives, declaration of guardian. That's just some of the things we do in our estate planning, not everything, but just some of the things. And so, last will and testament or wills, it's just and I'm going to tell you what these things are because just a lot of people don't know. So it's just a document that kind of outlines what your wishes are for things. You can pretty much get as creative as you want to get in that. I've seen all things. If you do have a will, you need to understand what's in it. If you don't, have somebody explain it to you. You need to look at it every few years. And if you don't have a will, I would encourage you to get with someone so you can learn what's going to happen if you don't have one. And you want to keep it in a safe place. You do want to keep the original, and you do want to keep it in a safe place, not on top of your house. Okay, so power of attorney. There's lots of different types of power of attorney. There's lots of different types of all of these documents, but there's springing power of attorneys, there's durable power of attorneys, there's specific power of attorneys, but basically it's giving someone else authority to do something for you or to make decisions for you. That comes in handy if you have to be in the hospital. That comes in handy if you're out of the country. That comes in handy for all kinds of things. A medical power of attorney is similar. It just applies to medical decisions. Health directives and living wills. If you get in the hospital, they'll almost always ask you, do you have a health directive? Do you have a living will? There's also like HIPAA disclaimers. Everybody kind of signs one of those with their doctor. Those kind of things. Guardianship directives, if you're older and incapacitated, and also a declaration of guardian if you have children. Okay, a lot of people like to talk about trust. I'm going to age myself. This is like my favorite. I love Lucy episode. And trusts are really great. There's lots of different types, but you really have to, the thing about trust is you really have to keep up with them. It's kind of like the conveyor belt with the candy. If you keep up with them, they work really well. A lot of people, they just don't fund their trust properly. You don't realize you actually have to put stuff in it once you get it. So that's interesting. Okay, so probate's the backside of like someone's already passed away. And so it comes from the Latin word probare, which means to prove. So people don't understand this sometimes, but just because you have a will doesn't mean you're done. You actually have to take that will to probate court and get a judge to sign off on it and say it's valid. That's so true. Like any shortcuts on the estate planning side, you're going to spend twice as much money, if not 3 or 4 times, on the back side because you didn't do the proper planning. And so the little cartoon is funny because it's true. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's no will, it's expensive, right? And then other things like when you're talking to people where you think maybe this would be a good referral for Dee Dee, like blended families, people with young children, people that own their own business, you got to plan for stuff like that. What's going to happen? Deeds like transfer on death deeds, life estate deeds, ladybird deeds, all kinds of things like that can really help with the planning. And some of this stuff is really inexpensive. Like people think, ooh, they're just like I ask everyone today, go put a beneficiary in your bank accounts. That's something you could do today that would really help. And then if you don't plan and you don't have a will and you don't have an estate plan, the state has one for you. You may or may not like what it is. Part of my job is just to tell people what's going to happen. And then that's their choice if they're okay with that or not. Most people are not once they actually find out. Don't assume it's going to automatically be away. Because I literally have a conversation, and Kim's probably seen this. I know Monica's seen this. Like, I literally have a conversation probably several times a week where there's someone in my office crying, and they're like, my name's on the house. It's on the mortgage. I'm like, yeah, you only get half. Sorry, it doesn't matter if you pay all the bills. It doesn't matter if you make mortgage payments. That's just kind of the way it is. And so my role is I help decide people what they need. I also try to educate them on what's going to happen so they can make those decisions for themselves. And I help them navigate after they lose a loved one as to what we need to do to help them get that straightened out. And so, questions? Yes. So ladybird deeds are used, they're kind of like enhanced life estate deeds. So it's like my mom has one. So she has the house for her life, and when she passes, it goes to me. So that's a really good thing to do if you have real property or real estate. You can, with a deed that's really inexpensive, you can designate a beneficiary through that so that it doesn't go through probate, so that people don't have to wait on the courts and all of that kind of thing.
It just automatically goes transfer.
Yeah.
Do you still play tennis?
I don't play tennis anymore. No, it's so sad. And this is kind of funny. So my husband and I were talking because he knew I was going to present, and he was like, you should get like some clips of you like playing tennis, because I was on TV and all that kind of stuff, and so and some pictures. Well, I'm gonna age myself because all of my clips are on VHS. And all of my pictures are not digital. But people always ask me, who's the most famous person you played? And I played Venus Williams. And my mom took a picture, which is not a digital picture. And I'm like 5'5", you guys. She's like 6'3". And there was a picture of us at the net, and it was kind of anyway.
That's great.
That's all I have.
Thank you.